This is a tale of destiny, a tale of friendship, and a lesson in money management. And just like any other great story, this one begins at a Best Buy. Tyler had gone to the specific Best Buy many times, but one day, something in the Nintendo Switch aisle caught his eye. It was a very colorful plushie trapped in a cardboard prison, and Tyler thought to himself, "Oh boy, oh no, this can't be! I must free that poor plushie!" So he had reached into his pocket without skipping a beat and grabbed his wallet and realized he was a tad short. Defeated, Tyler went home. Now, Best Buy wasn't too close to Tyler, so he didn't visit often. In fact, it was a rare occasion to visit Best Buy, but every time he did, he saw that plushie and thought, "One day you'll see, one day and you'll be free." But unfortunately, after many times, he could never afford it. That poor plushie was forgotten over the years, the box getting torn and beaten till one fateful day. Tyler had arrived at Best Buy with his friends to buy a computer, and what did he see? Well, it was a plushie trapped in a box, and it had sparked his memories. Without a breath, probably because of the asthma, he reached into his pocket and grabbed a wallet. It was time to save that plushie. But alas, Tyler couldn't afford it once again. But this time it was different. Tyler was determined. So he called his mommy to give him a loan. Tyler had finally acquired the plushie after all this time. And while the plushie is very special to him, he realized it came with a game. The Shantae series is a game series I have been aware of for a very long time. Shantae, the character I've known about, but knew absolutely nothing about her games. I didn't know what type of gameplay, what type of visuals, nothing. I just knew she had a series and the games existed. Recently, I've been dying for a new game, and I don't just mean a new game in general, I wanted a new game that I could make progress in. I have completed a ton of video games, and I have been buying a ton of new video games to fill that void. And it's just a lot of recent video games, I feel like I'm playing through them and not really making any progress, even if I complete it. And it's just a bit upsetting. So I've been very hungry for a new game to make progress in, and I guess that plushie was fate, because the minute I turned this game on, I knew it would have everything I've been looking for. Now, before I get into the game, let's talk about Shantae. Shantae is a series that has been around since June 2nd, 2002, which I definitely did not know. This means the Shantae series is not much older than I am, and I am just now getting into it. The original Shantae released on the Game Boy Color, and it was met with positive reviews, and for good reason. Shantae is one of the best looking games on the Game Boy Color, and in my opinion, it is the best looking game on there. But unfortunately, the game didn't sell too well due to releasing on the Game Boy Color after the Game Boy Advance was released. But even if it didn't sell too well, many positive reviews came in saying it was one of the best games on the Game Boy Color. But that was 2002, and unfortunately, we wouldn't see Shantae for another 8 years. In 2010 on DSiWare, Shantae Risky's Revenge was released. Risky's Revenge was yet another game met with great reviews. It was an amazing sequel with a ton of love. After this point, I think it was starting to set in that these games had great characters, great ideas, and great locations. Because from this point on, the Shantae series began to take off. In 2014, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse released for the 3DS and Wii U, another excellent game in the franchise, yet again met with critical acclaim. Then, in 2016, Shantae and the Half Genie Hero released after being crowdfunded on a Kickstarter campaign. Yet another great game and a great introduction to HD. But that leads us to 2019. Now, I know the Shantae series is great, each game is super fun, but in 2019, the Shantae series released yet another amazing game, hitting all the bases to be great. Fun gameplay, lovable characters, fully animated and voiced cutscenes, a great soundtrack, a game that feels like you're actually making progress, and an easy to follow story. Now, I don't know if this is controversial or not because again, I'm very new to the series, but this is my favorite one in the series. Shantae and the Seven Sirens has fulfilled everything I've been looking for in a video game for a long time. Shantae and the Seven Sirens is the 5th game in the Shantae series. It's developed by WayForward. Shantae and the Seven Sirens is a return to format with a huge interconnected map like the first 3 entries had in the series. Half Genie Hero took its own route with that department and had a different format, a more level-based structure. Now before we get any deeper, let's talk about the plot. Shantae and her friends are invited to Arena Town for a well-needed vacation where they're holding the Half Genie Festival, where you will meet 5 other Half Genies. But then, Right as the performance begins, all the half genies except you disappear. That's when you have to set off to find them. On your way, you'll fight multiple bosses and have to traverse your way through the sunken city. As you do so, you'll meet up with the other half genies and they'll give you both their magic and transformation coins. A transformation coin lets you transform into different animals to get different tasks done, like this one that lets you climb on walls. While the transformations let you do all different things like that, the other half genie's magic lets you do a whole new set of things. Like this one lets you see objects that aren't there. The transformations have been a Shantae staple, only this time they're done extremely well. Rather than stopping the game, performing the dance, then transforming to the animal, you can simply just press a button. It's a simple yet effective change. But the dances don't leave. They're still here, they just do different things. The things they do now normally just let you access different areas so you can proceed. Some are more useful than others, and there's only 4 of them. Now, the sunken city is full of enemies. There's a lot of bad guys down there. How do you fight them off? You have a whole arsenal of weapons you can buy, all of which you can use with the power meter up here. So make sure to be careful with what you use, because some of the dances are required to continue and you need that power meter to perform them. Now, as you meet new characters and talk to other characters, you'll go through quick sequences of dialogue. And normally I don't care for this type of stuff, but the writing here is pretty good. Like this one scene that's just a whole set of references to a bunch of video games. The dialogue is simple, but it's kind of funny at some points. As you traverse through the map, you'll find multiple sub-areas. In each sub-area, you typically save one of the half genies and fight a mini-boss and a big boss. Now, each boss feels different and fresh. They're all fun to play through, but be careful, they're not easy. That's another thing about this game, it's not easy. Thank goodness! It's about time I found a game that was fun and had a decent challenge. While it's not the hardest game out there, it has enough challenge to keep me invested. With the challenge, we also have cool locations. The deeper you go, the prettier this game gets, and I love the art direction. Everything blends together here very nicely, and oh, the music for this game is amazing. This game offers many stat-changing abilities, fun items, cool locations, great characters, and overall, it's just an amazing time. This was my introduction to the Shantae series, and man was it a good one. I enjoyed every second of it. I tried my best to find something negative because, well, this is a game review, but I couldn't, and I am so glad that I found that plushie because this has been one heck of a gaming experience. At the time of recording this, I've completed Shantae and the 7 Sirens and Shantae Half Genie Hero. Both great games, and they both have been an amazing time. I will talk about Half Genie Hero another day. And I bought the rest of the series on my Switch, and boy am I looking forward to playing through those. Because if they're anywhere near as fun as this one was, it's gonna be a great time. As I said before, I didn't know a whole lot about the Shantae series before this one. Let me rephrase, I really only knew it existed. I didn't know anything about the series at all. But boy am I glad I found this plushie because this game has been great. I seriously looked for negatives because, you know, when you're reviewing a video game, you kind of keep an eye out for that stuff, but I couldn't find any. I had a blast from beginning to end with this game, and I think I found it at the perfect time because I really have been looking for that game to fill that void of, you know, making progress. Because in most video games recently, I haven't really felt that. I feel like I'm just kind of going through it and not really gaining anything. There were fun characters, great locations, great gameplay. It was so much fun, and it feels like you're making progress and improving as you go through the game. I loved that, and after this and Half Genie Hero, Shantae has easily become one of my favorite video game characters and one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. And boy am I looking forward to playing through the rest of the series. This one was great, and I highly recommend it. Man, am I glad that I bought that plushie.